As often as the case, a number of kids had hired I'm going to call it a limo, a party bus, to take them to prom. And we have kids at the Oswego East School that were going to prom in Glen Ellyn. So about 23 kids were part of this, and talked with one of the fathers, a good friend of mine whose daughter was part of this, and the party bus driver was late by about a half hour. And on his way to Glen Ellyn, the students started texting their parents because not only did he arrive late, he drove over the median twice, he cut off oncoming traffic, he drove into a ditch, and then attempted to drop the passengers off at the wrong location. I mean, it's so bad it's almost something out of a movie. There were several off-duty police officers, or perhaps on duty, from Oswego that were at the prom. So ultimately, when they get there, when they ends up getting the kids to the right place, he gets arrested, detained, and he blew a .22. Obviously 3 times over the legal limit. And the village of Oswego and Kay knows this, Representative Hatcher, were very kind of unfortunately had some bad experiences with drinking and driving. We had a situation a number of years ago where 5 young people were killed in a horrific accident. Young people, a bunch of them were in a car, and it was just awful. So obviously a lot of attention to this. In working with Dennis Reboletti and Bob Berlin, the state's attorney of DuPage County, Bob said, look, all I can do, where they've got 23 kids and the potential for another horrific situation, the way this guy was driving, is I could charge him with a DUI. And that's the extent of it. The law currently says if you are driving a school bus with kids under age 18, you can have that offense raised to a felony. The DUI itself is just a misdemeanor. So in working with Bob Berlin, the state's attorney, and Dennis, we changed the statute to provide 2 more instances where you can raise that to an aggravated DUI, and specifically a felony. So we would say if you were driving a school bus regardless of age and were under the influence of alcohol, you could be charged with the felony DUI. And anybody who is driving a vehicle for hire, a limousine, a taxi, a charter bus, or any other for-hire vehicles, they would also be eligible for this enhanced penalty of the felony DUI. It would be a class 4 felony. So those are the 2 changes to the statute. I think sometimes we think about, do we overreact to situations, and do we, should we do something, should we not? But when I thought about these kids who were, I think you would argue, doing the right thing by hiring this bus to take them to prom, their parents feeling as if when they let them off, where they are picked up after photos, etc., that they were safe, and to have the potential for just an awful accident. This is not unrealistic to put this in this situation where already we say that a bus driver with kids under 18 would be eligible for the enhanced penalty. So, long explanation, but it's was somewhat of an emotional issue in Oswego. Irate parents still. So I would appreciate your support, and I'll try to answer any questions if you have any. Would appreciate an aye vote.